Hey there, I'm so glad you're here. If you've been feeling just completely worn down lately, like you are running on fumes, I really want you to know that this is for you. We're going to walk through what it means to find hope when you feel like you just can't take one more step. Okay, let's dive in.
So let's just start with a really honest question. Have you actually stopped and noticed just how tired you've been? And I'm not talking about just needing a nap tired. I mean, something that goes way, way deeper.
It's that specific kind of exhaustion, right? The kind where you can get a full 8 hours of sleep, but you wake up and your heart still feels so heavy. It's like your body might have rested, but your spirit is just as weary as when you went to bed. There's a name for this feeling. It's what I'd call a quiet exhaustion. It's the kind that creeps in when you've been strong for what feels like way too long, just waiting and waiting for things to finally change. And maybe this looks familiar. You're still showing up every single day, you're doing all the things, but on the inside you're just screaming, how much longer can I do this? You've got that smile on for everyone else, but in the quiet moments, you're wrestling with God, asking some really hard questions. And maybe this is the one that hits home the most. Your faith, it's still there. But that spark, that excitement, it's just gone. Trust starts to feel a lot more like just trying to survive the day than some kind of joyful adventure. If any of that rings true, believe me, you are not the only one. So here's the absolute most important thing I want you to hear. All of that weariness, that silent, lonely struggle, it has not gone unnoticed. Let's completely shift our view from how you feel to how God sees you in the middle of all this. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This verse is so personal. It's saying that not one single moment of your sadness, not one tear that you've cried when no one was looking, has been missed. They're all accounted for. They matter. And what about those times when you are so exhausted you don't even have the words to pray, when all you can do is just, sigh? Well, this verse is incredible. It shows us that even your sighs, your wordless groans, they are a prayer that the Spirit understands perfectly and carries to God for you. Now, this right here, this is a game changer because it's all about reframing. Where you look at yourself and see failure, God just sees that you're weary. Where you feel weak, He sees a perfect opportunity to give you His strength. You might feel punished or completely alone, but from His point of view, you're actually being prepared, and He's closer than He's ever been. And that's the beautiful promise, isn't it? God's strength isn't reserved for people who have it all figured out. No, it is specifically for the weary. It's for those of us who feel like we've hit a wall and have nothing left. Your feeling of weakness is the very thing that qualifies you to receive His power. So this brings up a really big question, right? Okay, if God sees me and He wants to give me strength, why am I still stuck in this exhausting season of waiting? Well, let's talk about that, because this waiting, it's not for nothing. This period isn't God saying no to your prayers. A better way to think of it is as a divine delay. It's purposeful. It's kind of like a seed that has to grow deep roots underground long before you ever see a sprout break through the surface. God is doing that deep, unseen work in you right now to get you ready for what's coming next. This season of waiting, it really does feel like a refining process. It starts with feeling completely tested and stretched, maybe to your breaking point. But the whole point of that stretching is to force your spiritual roots to go down deeper. There's a verse in Psalm 66 that talks about God refining us like silver, and that's not a comfortable process, but it burns away the impurities and leaves behind something so much stronger, ready for whatever is next. And this is where the whole story pivots. Because after the waiting, after that refining fire, God is getting ready to do something. And that's the core promise we're talking about today. A surprise is coming. You know, if you look through the Bible, you see this pattern over and over again. God seems to specialize in surprising people right when they're at their absolute lowest. Think about Sarah. She had laughed at the idea of having a kid. All hope was gone. Or Joseph, who did everything right and was just forgotten in a dungeon for years. And Ruth, who had lost literally everything. For every single one of them, God showed up in a big way when they least expected it. So what does this surprise actually look like? Well, sometimes, yeah, it's that huge, sudden, unmistakable breakthrough you've been praying for. But a lot of the time, the surprise shows up on the inside first. It might be a sudden peace that just floods your heart, even though nothing has changed, or a surge of strength you didn't know you had, or maybe just a moment of clarity that completely shifts how you see everything. And this becomes our declaration, right? This is what we hold on to. Your circumstances right now, your feelings of darkness and exhaustion, they do not get the final say. The promise is that the Lord Himself will be your light, period.
Okay, so that's the hope that's on the horizon. But what about right now, today, in this moment? Let's get really practical and talk about how you can find rest even while you're still in the waiting room.
This is just one of the most beautiful invitations ever. And notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say, come to me after you get your act together, or come to me when you feel stronger. No, it says, come now. Come as you are, tired, burdened, completely worn out. His rest isn't a prize you earn, it's a gift He's waiting to give you. And so often, the key to unlocking that rest is this one, sacred moment of surrender. It's when you finally breathe out and admit, I can't do this on my own anymore. And that's not a moment of failure, that is the doorway to grace. The whole point is, you were never supposed to carry all this by yourself. The invitation here is to cast your burdens. It's an active verb. It means to literally throw them, to hand them over. And the promise attached is that He will sustain you. It's a guarantee. You can even do this physically. Just open your hands, palms up, and whisper, this is yours. It's a powerful first step.
So let's land the plane with this one central idea. All this tiredness you're feeling, it's not a sign that you're feeling or that you've been disqualified from the race. It's actually doing the opposite. It's positioning you. It's in that place of total weakness that God's strength can finally show up in its fullness. Your emptiness creates the perfect space for Him to fill.
And so I just want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if this exhausted, difficult season you're in isn't a dead end? What if it's not the end of the story? What if instead it's actually a doorway into a deeper experience of God's strength, His grace, and a surprise that you never, ever saw coming?